So for the third straight year, Anastasia Eala makes it to the second round of the Madrid Open. What a professional, mature performance that was against one of the world's best ever in former world number 11, Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. This time a qualifier, and she moves past the 34-year-old in some style. It's brilliant from Eala once again.
Nobody expected what happened next. That is the honest truth. You could have asked anyone sitting in the stands at the Caja Magica in Madrid that afternoon. You could have stopped any journalist walking through the press tunnel. And not a single one of them would have told you that a teenager from the Philippines was about to walk onto that red clay and completely take apart one of the most experienced clay court fighters on the entire WTA tour. But that is exactly what Alex did. And if you weren't watching, you need to understand what you missed, because this was not just a tennis match. This was a statement. This was a moment that people are going to remember for a very long time. Let me paint the picture for you. The Madrid Open is one of the biggest, most prestigious tournaments in women's tennis. It is a WTA 1000 event, which means the absolute cream of the sport shows up here. Grand Slam champions, former world number ones, seasoned professionals who have spent their entire careers grinding on this exact surface. The red clay of Madrid plays differently from anywhere else in the world. The altitude sits above 600 meters, which means the air is thinner, the ball moves faster, and your lungs are burning long before your legs give out. It is a court that punishes the inexperienced and rewards those who have spent years learning its rhythms. That was supposed to be the problem for Alex. Her opponent, Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, knows European clay the way most people know their own neighborhood. She has been a Roland Garros finalist. She has played in the deepest rounds of the biggest clay tournaments on the planet. She came into this match having already fought through qualifying, which meant her timing was sharp, her footwork was dialed in, and she was physically ready for a war. She was not showing up to lose. She was showing up to prove something. And instead, she got a lesson she will not forget quickly. The match began, and something became clear almost immediately to anyone paying close attention. Alex was not nervous. That is the thing that stands out first. When young players step onto courts like this one against opponents with that kind of resume, you can usually see it somewhere in their body language. A tightness in the shoulders, a hesitation before a big shot, a first serve that gets padded in when the pressure rises. None of that. Alex walked out onto that court like she had already decided how the day was going to go, and she never wavered from that decision for a single game. Let us start with the serve, because this is where the match was shaped from the very first point. Alex landed 70% of her first serves. Now, if you follow tennis at any serious level, you know that number is exceptional. Against a player like Pavlyuchenkova, who attacks second balls the way a predator attacks wounded prey. Getting that first serve in is not just beneficial, it is survival. You miss your first serve against her, and you are in trouble. You are handing her a slower ball, a shorter swing, and an opportunity to take control of the point before you have even started to build your game. Alex gave her almost none of those opportunities. 7 out of every 10 first serves landed cleanly in the box. And when they did, Alex won 76% of those points. Stop and think about what that actually means in practice. 3 out of every 4 times Alex got her first delivery in, the point ended in her favor. She was not just getting the serve in for the sake of it. She was using that serve to set the entire tone of the rally, to put Pavlyuchenkova on the back foot immediately, to dictate where the next shot was going to go, and then building the point from a position of control rather than scrambling. The contrast with what was happening on the other side of the net was almost uncomfortable to watch. Pavlyuchenkova, a woman built on power and aggression, managed to win only 50% of her own first serve points. Think about what that tells you. It tells you that Alex was standing in on the return, early and decisive, and turning those big serves into her own weapons. She was not blocking the ball back and hoping for the best. She was reading the delivery, moving before the bounce, and redirecting with real intention. She won 26 receiving points across the match, which is a remarkable number that reflects just how much pressure she was generating from the back of the court before Pavlyuchenkova could even find her footing in rallies. Then came the break points. And this is the part of the story that genuinely gets me, because this is where championships are forged and where the difference between a talented player and a mentally complete one becomes impossible to ignore. Pavlyuchenkova is not a player who folds easily. She created 6 break-point opportunities during this match. 6 separate moments where she had a chance to steal a game, shift the energy, and put herself back in the conversation. And Alex saved 5 of them. 5 out of 6. Every single time the match reached one of those pivotal moments where the whole thing could have tilted, Alex reached deeper. She did not tighten up. She did not start floating the ball back into the court, hoping her opponent would miss. She went for it. She trusted her preparation, trusted her instincts, and executed under pressure in a way that very few players at any level consistently manage to do. That is not something you stumble into. That is something that gets built in practice, in quiet rooms after long training sessions, in a mindset that refuses to treat high-pressure moments as threats and instead treats them as opportunities. Now flip the script entirely, because when Alex was the one holding the knife, she did not hesitate. She created 8 break-point chances on Pavlyuchenkova's serve, and she converted 4 of them. That is a 50% conversion rate on break points against a Grand Slam finalist. She broke serve 4 times in just 2 sets. Every time she spotted a crack in the veterans' game, she drove straight into it without hesitation and without mercy. She was not playing not to lose. She was playing to win every single rally, and the scoreboard reflected that completely. 68 total points won by Alex, 50 by Pavlyuchenkova, an 18-point gap across 2 sets. In a sport where margins are everything, where matches are decided by millimeters and mental ticks, an 18-point differential is not close. It is dominant. It is the kind of gap that tells you one player was controlling the match while the other was reacting to it from beginning to end. Alex won 12 games. Her opponent managed 6. She held serve 8 times. Pavlyuchenkova only managed to hold 5. And then there is this particular detail that captures something almost poetic about the way Alex performs when she is truly switched on. Maximum consecutive points won. When Pavlyuchenkova went on her best run of the day, she strung together 5 straight points. A decent burst, enough to create a little momentum, enough to maybe steal a game. When Alex caught fire, she won 9 consecutive points against a former Roland Garros finalist. 9 straight points without the other player winning a single one. That is 2 entire games at love back-to-back, with a season champion on the other side of the net completely unable to do anything about it. There was a moment in that run where you could see it in Pavlyuchenkova's body language. A glance toward her coach, a slight drop in the shoulders, the slow realization that this was not going to get better, that the young woman across the net was not going to give her a foothold, not even a small one. The international commentary team went quiet in a particular way that happens when everyone watching realizes simultaneously that they're seeing something genuinely significant. Now, here at Viant Locks, we do not do blind celebration. We analyze, and honest analysis means looking at the full picture. There is one number in Alex's stat line that her team will have circled after this match. She won 37% of her second serve points. Against the upper echelon of the world rankings, that number needs to climb. The elite returners in this sport will hunt a weak second ball, the way sharks track blood in the water. Aryna Sabalenka will attack it. Iga Swiatek will redirect it with interest. That 37% is a work in progress. But here is the critical context. It did not matter today. It barely registered as a factor because Alex's first serve was so overwhelming, so well-placed, and so consistently landing in the box that Pavlyuchenkova barely got a look at the second ball. The vulnerability existed, but Alex's tactical intelligence meant she built the match around her strength and away from that exposure. That is not luck, that is craft. And there is one more element that cannot be fully captured in the numbers, but deserves to be said clearly. The physical dimension of this performance was extraordinary. Clay court tennis at altitude is punishing in a way that is difficult to describe unless you have experienced it. Your muscles work harder than they do at sea level. Rallies that last 12 balls at sea level feel like 20 up here. Recovery time between points shrinks even when the actual seconds stay the same. Alex looked fresh from the first game to match point. All those hours at the Rafa Nadal Academy, training in the Spanish heat, pushing through fatigue in the back end of sessions, building the kind of physical base that does not break under the weight of a big occasion. She outlasted a physically powerful player on a surface that was supposed to belong to that player. And she did it without looking like she was working hard. She made it look like the most natural thing in the world. So what does a result like this actually mean beyond the scoreline? It means the conversation around Southeast Asian tennis has to change. The invisible ceiling that has sat over this region for decades in professional singles tennis is cracking, and every result like this one drives another fracture through it. It means ranking points that push Alex closer to the top 30, where the entire architecture of the tour starts to work in your favor rather than against you. Seated at slams, protected from the top players in the early rounds, recognized not as a surprise guest at the top table, but as a permanent fixture. It means the generation of kids back in the Philippines watching this match on their phones, in their living rooms, on screens at sports bars in Manila and Cebu and Davao. They have something they did not have before. Not just a role model, but proof, documented, statistical, undeniable proof that the distance between where they are and where they want to be is not geography, not background, not the size of the country they come from. It is the work. It is the belief. It is the willingness to build something quietly and completely, and then let the results speak at full volume when the moment arrives. Madrid is not over. This was the first chapter, not the whole story. The draw is still full of serious players who have now seen this scoreline and will be rethinking whatever assumptions they carried into this week. Alex came to Madrid with something to prove, and she proved it on day one with a kind of controlled ferocity that does not feel like it is going anywhere. Watch this space closely, because if this first match was the warning, the rest of this tournament is going to be something else entirely.